Everyone, this is Pablo Wilkinson back at with another YouTube piece. So the topic for today is about my time working at Kalakaua Middle School, where I used to work as a library assistant. I was there from January 2019 to May 2020, and I left because I didn't want to have any more dealings with the head librarian, Miss Natalie Lum. And I went over why we had a problem with the two videos I made. I put it down earlier because she put a restraining order against me, and let's watch the first video and see. Let's talk about what I mentioned in the first video. Back at the YouTube page. So yeah, that's me. So we're still in the coronavirus crisis, but that's not the topic for today. So I'm here at Kalakaua Middle School Library. You know, my first full-time job, but it's probably gonna be the last time I'm here. And there's a reason for that. I wrote a blog post about the head librarian, Miss Natalie Lum. I'm done with her. I'm done. It's a lot of troubling things. Rude, impatient, rigid, has poor people skills. And not to say I'm perfect and all that stuff, but yeah. So yeah. So if I'm making mistakes to it, this is like all the time. All the time. Well, in the beginning, we were cool and all that, like yay, but let's just start with like. And I think the most disturbing of all was early on. She started making racist comments, especially about, she makes racist comments about Micronesians. When they misbehave, she mentions their race and make all the racial stereotypes. When like the Filipino or Polynesian students misbehave, she don't say anything about their ethnic culture. She only makes mention about the ethnic culture if a Micronesian is involved. She doesn't say anything if it's a Chinese or Filipino or Polynesian students. Because yeah, so yeah, kind of backtrack a bit. Yeah, so my school I work at is say it's majority Filipinos, but also a lot of Micronesians, Polynesians, some Chinese, and some other people. But yeah, so Miss Lum has been caught doing that. I turned her in and notified Office of Civil Rights, and they told her, no, don't do this again, and blah blah blah. So that kind of faded away, but she's still like very rude. She's not clear on anything. She doesn't give clear instructions, and when she doesn't give clear instructions, she gets mad because I didn't follow her unclear instructions. It's like, you're not gonna make clear instructions. I mean, don't get mad if the person is not following your unclear instructions. I mean, most of the time, if the instructions are unclear, I'll be like, oh yeah, you know, let's try it this way again, or apologize, like the instructions weren't clear. No. And the last straw was, okay, I've been out of the library for a couple of weeks because the coronavirus crisis, and it's kind of kept out of the loop about how students have to return books during the coronavirus crisis and all these different new initiatives that I was never informed of. And Miss Lum gets all mad. Ooh, I did tell you. No, you didn't. See, this is like Donald Trump behavior. Like, one, the racism, and also because Donald Trump's like, oh, I said this. No, I didn't say that. Like, Miss Lum's like that. I'm done with that. Okay, I'm done. So either she leaves, either she gets the hell out, or I'm leaving. I already wrote a blog post. I wrote this morning. Came on campus. So far, I haven't heard anything, but maybe when I'm done with this video and leave, I might be confronted about how we airing dirty laundry of the school to the public. Well, we'll see how it happens, but yeah, so kind of sad about leaving this, but hey, someone has to go. We're not compatible as partners, so they don't want to get rid of her. Then I'm out. Simple as that. Yeah, I know I gotta find another job, and it's not the best time to find another job. And but you know, something needs to happen. Something needs to happen. And the blog post was the first thing that happened, so I wrote that this morning, like really early in the morning. And last time I checked, we had like 24 clicks, and this is like around 6 when most of the people in Hawaii were not up yet. So my blog posts don't even get up to 24 views. This blog post that I wrote this morning, say by the time 6 o'clock rolled around, 24 views. At a time when most people in Hawaii were not up yet. So probably be more views by the time I upload that. And I made this video so people know that, yeah, I try to work with her, but some people are beyond repair, and yeah, we'll have to adjust it, yeah. Cause my glasses get foggy when anyways, yeah, whatever. Yeah, so I'm making this video, the realest stuff I ever said, and if any man don't like it, well, I mean, facts are facts. So, alright, I'm going to take what could be my final walk around this library, and alright, thank you, mahalo.
Oh yeah, so that was the first video, and that I made about Miss Natalie Lum, and yeah, I didn't even put on my surgical mask correctly in that video, so I kept falling under my nose. But the second video had a lot more detail, and I put my surgical mask on correctly for that one. But let's watch the second video.
Right near Kalakaua Middle School, and well, it's probably gonna be my former workplace, because on Friday, May 29th, I emailed the my signed copy of the separation of service form. I didn't get a response after that. I don't know, anything to do with the state, they take forever to do things, and they may have their reasons, but I sent it in like Friday morning, so they could at least respond to me in the afternoon saying, yeah, we got your form. But again, so why am I talking about this? A few videos ago, it was titled, I'm done with Miss Lum, the repulsive head librarian at Kalakaua Middle School. And basically in that video, I said that one of us has to leave. Either she goes or I go. She didn't make her move, so I'm not gonna wait. I'm done waiting. And you know, the principal said, oh, like all the 12-month employees, including me, are supposed to report back June 1. I'm like, okay, hold on here. If Miss Lum hasn't announced she's leaving by June 1, then I'm not gonna be back. That's why I said my separation service form last day I dated May 31st. So I'm done with this already. This is ridiculous. The only way they're gonna change my mind if Miss Lum gets the hell out of there. So yeah, so kind of reiterate what was going on in that video. So that video, that one I said about I'm done with Miss Lum, got 1,000 views already. Most of my videos do not get that many views. So apparently it's been shared. So far it hasn't been reported on the basic all the popular news outlets, but apparently people have been sharing it. Yeah, I mentioned this funny thing too, like okay, one of the teleconference, like, you know, each of the teachers, like, they have their day or when they can share their experiences with the coronavirus crisis, and so it was my turn, and I just said yeah, like I had time to clean my room, and then yeah, basically saying that I'm doing electronic music, and then I mentioned my blog and YouTube and stuff. The latest one is realest stuff I ever wrote, and then it says I'm probably not coming back next year. I think everyone was in a shock, but I'm sure some of those teachers have seen the blog and the video, and I'm sure Miss Lum must have seen it. She hasn't responded yet. She's a vindictive person, but she hasn't responded yet. Yeah, so basically with Miss Lum, like I mentioned in the previous video, like she had made in conversations multiple racist remarks about Micronesians, and she has these double standards. Like if something bad happens and the Micronesian students involved, she says, you know, starting to make these racial stereotypes. But if a Filipino Polynesian student or a Chinese student makes the same mistake, she don't say anything about the race, and And then I pointed out to one time I wrote a letter. I left it in a mailbox saying, you know, I find this very disturbing and I'm noticing these patterns. And then when she saw it, it's like, oh, you do it, come across the way. But then she still continued it. I don't know, if I didn't know I come across a certain way and someone pointed out to me, I'll be like, you know what, I'll self-correct, I mean, as best as I can. And she didn't even do that. Like, I worked at other schools and teachers make offensive comments and told me I'm offended, and I'll report to admin if this continues. Guess what the other teachers did at other schools? They self-corrected. They apologized, and they self-corrected. Miss Lum doesn't do that. Miss Lum doesn't apologize for anything. She has never apologized for any statements, and she's never apologized for all the rudeness that she had toward me, and I documented, and the vice principal knows about this. So it's not like admin doesn't know. They can't say, oh, we didn't know. Yeah, you know, okay? You know this stuff. At least somebody in admin knows, okay? So they can't say, oh, we didn't know. We know, okay? So, yeah, so basically, Miss Lum said, I didn't know I come across it. Well, there's been times like I didn't know I come across a certain way. There's been times that happens. I unintentionally offended somebody. I self-corrected the best I can, you know? Simple, right? Like, I know it's harder than it sounds, but you gotta make effort. She didn't make no effort at all. Until I reported the issue to admin. Because first I just wrote a letter to her and then hopefully she'll self-correct them. No, after I report to admin, then she'll start self-correcting, but she never apologized. So people say I should forgive all this. Well, she didn't apologize. Why should I forgive for that, you know? I never said people say we should forgive, but she has never apologized for this stuff. Never. Not once. And you know, and then she always walks in with a very miserable vibe. She's always like very miserable. That's why most of the time we're working in the library. It's like it's mostly awkward silence. Like it's like it can be after, but yeah. So going back to racial stereotypes and stuff, like the reason why I'm like, you know, now it's more imperative now is because these racial stereotypes, they have an effect on people. They're not just words, you know, like they have an effect on people. Like the Holocaust, slavery, all that stuff comes with stereotypes, and because people act on stereotypes, they think that other people are less than human, and if you want to treat people like other races as less than human, what do you think is going to happen? Starts with discrimination, and people start using violence against people that they don't like, and now that we had an incident in Minnesota where the African American guy was brutally beaten by police and got killed, and now we have all these Black Lives Matter protests. So even more imperative that I go public with what happened at Kalakaua Middle School with Miss Lum and the racial stereotypes about Micronesians. And she has never apologized for them. So that tells you right there. I mean, if I offended somebody, I'll apologize, right? I mean, but yeah. So basically, she's still gonna be working at this school. She is gonna be have no moral authority at all. Because you know what? 1,000 views. I'm sure the students have seen it. You think they're gonna listen to her? Hell no. Or they'll listen to her reluctant. They'll cause out, you know, they'll rebel. I'm like, you're a racist. I'm not gonna listen to you because you're a racist. And you know, she'll start overreacting like she usually does, and it's like a lawsuit waiting to happen. Like, the admin knows she made these racist comments. They know. So her moral authority has just been undermined by exposing of facts. So she has no credible moral authority, and now she's gonna come back to work in the school. I mean, the kid's gonna rebel, like, and I don't blame them. of course, sometimes kids like will make accusations and stuff, but in this case, we have evidence. Okay? Like, I come forward and say that she has made these racist comments. So it's not a, and then there's documentations about it, so it's not like someone made a false accusation. They know, so they're gonna rebel against her. And this other teacher, I didn't mention the video, but I mentioned the blog post. Miss Susan Galeriada, substitute teacher. She's like a long-term sub. I actually knew her back when I used to sub at Central Middle School, and okay, so she's working at this school, Kalakaua. Her and Miss Lum are friends, and then Miss She is also making racist comments about Micronesians, and then I reported that issue to the office, and then Miss She's like, she came up to me, and like, "Don't tell me into the office. You inspired the conversation." Hold on. Don't tell me. It's like, I mean, what is this? Like a no snitching campaign? I mean, usually it's the middle schoolers that tell people not to snitch on them, not adults working in the school. So that's her maturity level right there. She's gonna say, "Don't tell on me." And she complains I listen to people's conversations. Well, if you say something loud enough that I could hear it, I'm gonna hear it. And some things cannot be unheard. Don't tell on me. Oh, all she could have done was apologize, and I would have forgiven her, and we wouldn't be talking about this on this video. But no, like, "Don't tell on me." Well, told on you. It's too bad. I told on you a second time. So yeah, there's that, and then yeah, Miss Lum also make all these unclear instructions. And of course, like, you can't expect all instructions to be clear. I mean, there's always gonna be misunderstanding, but this is like all the time. And then got to a point where the vice principal told me, "You know what? You gotta write down some of these instructions and write it on like on a form, like all these instructions." And the vice principal had to tell her, Miss Lum, that. But of course, Miss Lum seems getting mad because like the next set of tasks that she didn't make clear instructions before. It's like, yeah, if your instructions are clear or unclear, then apologize for it, you know? And she has like really poor people skills. Like, it's like, "You didn't move the boxes." Hold on here, like, boxes, you have like a whole bunch of tasks gotta be done. I can't do everything all at once. I mean, I didn't move the boxes. Yeah, because you told us to do the other task. It's like, what is this stuff? "You didn't move the boxes." You could just ask nicely, "Hey, can you please move the boxes? We're gonna..." "Yeah, no, move the boxes." "You didn't move the boxes." Or this stuff, "You gotta move. You gotta do this better." Like, you gotta explain things, man. You gotta explain things, you know? And Shirley explains after the VP told her to write clear instructions. And then the worst thing was like what really like set me off was when we had we was out of the school was locked out for for a couple of weeks because of the coronavirus crisis, and then so they didn't tell me, they once emailed me saying like, "Oh, what do we do with the books that we couldn't return?" So I told like a whole bunch of the student library helpers, like, you know, we don't demand returns right away, but hey, if you can come in on Tuesday and when they do the packet pickups, you can turn it in. Miss Lum was not like, "Oh," and then another thing is like, and then VP said, "Oh yeah, we had the robocalls." I'm like, "What robocalls? No one told me about robocalls to the students." Like, and the student who emailed me that is one of the smarter students. If he didn't get it, a whole bunch of other students probably didn't get it either. And I wasn't informed that school was trying to attempt to get the books collected. They didn't tell me about this. They didn't tell me about their plans to distribute books during the summer. They didn't say it clearly until someone mentioned it on the teleconference, and it wasn't Miss Lum that mentioned it. So why was that explained to me? Or Miss Lum set up a Instagram account for the Kalakaua Middle School library. Why was I not informed about that? Only reason why I found out was because, okay, one time I was looking up stuff related to Kalakaua Middle School on Instagram, like, cause I use Instagram only for like just promote my music project. So I never really used my Instagram account to do anything associated with my Kalakaua Middle School job. But I just wanted to look at like the Kalakaua Middle School library at the Instagram account. Why didn't you tell me about this? I don't know, if I was in charge of a library and we have an Instagram account, like, I would tell the others, if any other staff member that might be in the library staff, oh, we have an Instagram account, let me know if there's anything you want to add to it. She didn't tell me this. See, all this information hiding, says nothing was, and then she had the nerve to say, we didn't hide anything from you. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you hide information. And even if it wasn't on purpose, I say, hey, I apologize, I didn't tell you. Simple as that. Simple as that. They just make it clear what we're doing. We're having new procedures and stuff. And nothing was hidden from you. Yeah, it was. See, that's what set me off. Like, I'm gonna go on my YouTube and blog and reveal all the information that should have been reviewed a long time ago. Like all the racist comments, I should have reviewed that a long time ago. If anything, I regret is not mentioning and making it public a while back. Because usually I'm a second chance kind of guy, but she gonna be like that. We already had a second chance already. I'm tired of this crap, you know? Yeah, it's like, you didn't hide and nothing was hidden from me. And, give me this attitude. And the thing was, the vice principal that's in charge of us was able to respond to my concerns in a professional manner. The vice principal that's in charge of us, that's Randy M. Porras-Tang, she knows how to do things professionally. She's a very professional person. Miss Lum is not. Even the other staff members, 5 staff members came up to me to complain about Miss Lum, and they started a conversation about Miss Lum. I don't bring all my concerns about Miss Lum to other staff members except for administration. So 5 staff members came up and told me that Miss Lum's like, rude and that kind of stuff. Like two of them said that, like it's her rudeness that makes kids not want to come to the library. One of them got mad because Miss Lum, because Miss Lum's like, can't buy soda for the kids. He could have just said, oh, you know what? The school policy says you can't buy soda for the kids. The funny thing is, Miss Lum gives out junk food to the library student helpers. So, she offered healthy options, but she also offered junk food options. So, and then another teacher is like one of her favorites. I'm not gonna mention names on it. She also complained about Miss Lum, like the way she does things, and the rudeness and the rigidity, and her weird ways of doing things, and so I'm sure there's probably gonna be more complaints if more of them view this video and the blog post. And she has friends on campus, so of course if I come back on campus and for any reason some of their friends gonna give me stink eye, whatever. I mean, it is what it is. I said what I said, and the facts are the facts. And yeah, Miss Lum had basic people skills. Like, not to say I'm perfect in anything. Like, sometimes I get mad at people, and sometimes I overreact, or sometimes underreact, and sometimes, but stuff is like almost all the time, and people get tired of it already. People are tired of this stuff, and you know what? And also for yeah. So I'm trying to think of anything else. Like even like when teachers ask for how to do inventory, like Miss Lum's like, read the instructions. I'm like, I'm the one who have to explain the inventory system to the teachers. Like, I tried politely. One time I just saw her just said, oh, here's the instructions. I mean, people don't just learn how to do things just by reading instructions. Sometimes they need to go one thing by another, just step by step and all that. Like, it's and that's the thing, I think. Yeah, so always miserable, always rude and all that stuff, and yeah. So anyways, but at least in this video, I put on my
my surgical mask correctly, because all the time like it kept going below my nose, and it's like kind of looks embarrassing if it keeps going on. At least it's now I kind of done right, so I'm good. But trying to see if there's anything else. So I think that's it. So all right, well, we'll see what happens after this. I'm done with this school, and I'm done with school. I'm just gonna figure out what the next move in life, and hopefully it'll be fine. But yeah, so that was the second video here. So so that's declaring that I'm no longer working at this school. So yeah, like just a few days after I posted the video, Miss Natalie Lum put a restraining order against me. I don't know why. Like it didn't make any threats in the videos. There's no threats of violence or anything. I just mentioned some information about a government official, which is exactly what she is, because if you work at a public school, which is a government institution, then if you work at the school, that means you're a government official. So I have a right to express grievances towards a government official, which is exactly what Miss Natalie Lum is, and express grievances towards an institution, which is a government institution, which is exactly what Kalakaua Middle School and all public schools are. So I have a right to express grievances towards the government. But when I left the job, Miss Natalie Lum put a restraining order against me. After I left the job, I mean, that means this is strange, because that means I'm not going to be around her anymore. But she wants to put a restraining order against me. That's ridiculous. It's like, your restraining order is like, you want someone to like stop like getting in, someone from like attacking you. Like, I didn't attack anybody. I didn't commit any violence. And by working at this school, that means I don't have any plans to be anywhere near her, but she put a restraining order against me. That's so ridiculous. And then like in the restraining order petition, she put a whole bunch of like exaggerations about what I do, and put all kinds of like false innuendos, and yeah, basically like basically she just like put exaggerations about my minor sins and about work performance, even though she signed a form in the summer saying that the evaluation form that I made expectations. So I don't know why I went from meeting expectations to not meeting expectations. No, she's just salty because I exposed the fact that she did make negative remarks about ethnic groups. And then yeah, she told her lawyer, and her lawyer told my lawyer that I took her comments out of context, her comments about the ethnic groups. But I mean, well, if I took it out of context, I don't think restraining order is the way to do it. I think the way to do it is make your own blog post, make your own videos, telling what the context is. But yeah, another thing funny about the TRO petition, she starts like portraying herself as a victim, as a damsel in distress, and she's afraid I'm going to do something to her, that she doesn't want to be confrontational. She is very confrontational, okay? The whole reason I left because she's very confrontational, and by leaving the job, I'm trying to avoid confrontation. But when the TRO petition, she's portraying herself as a victim and just saying that she doesn't want confrontation. I'm the one being confrontation. If I also pass around the copy of the petition to anyone at the school, they'll be laughing at her portrayal as her own portrayal as her being a damsel in distress. This is someone who loves the confrontation. This is someone who confronts, no matter how big the students are, and you know, middle school, some students are big, like almost like high school size, like, and she confronts them like that, like, or when large groups of students walk through the library, or like run through the library, run through the library and cause havoc. She confronts them like with no fear at all. When the other teachers lose control of the class in the library, she puts the fear into the students. You know, like, that's how she is. Like, or like sometimes like there'll be two classes coming in all at once, So at that school, like I think the average class size is 25 students. So 2 classes, 2 times 25, 50 students coming out at once, and Miss Lum's like over there, where's your IDs? She keeps yelling at the students to put on their IDs. Where's your IDs? This is someone who loves the confrontation. She even criticized the principal for not liking confrontations, but because I revealed, you know, information, negative, important, critical information, none of us always becomes damsel in distress. What is this? Like, this is ridiculous, right? Damsel in distress. She's not a damsel in distress. You're just salty because you didn't. She wanted to confront me in person, but I left. So like, she's so salty that she used the law against me, and then she put a restraining order. And then that's why the restraining order, like, her lawyer told my lawyer that she'll withdraw this restraining order if I took down my blogging video. I did that for her because I was in the middle of working at for a time-sensitive project. But now that part is over. So I'm gonna put it back up there. I mean, anyone else want to put another restraining order for what? I mean, there's no case for it. I'm not threatening any violence. I'm just expressing opinions. Yeah, I'm not threatening any violence in her. I don't commit violence against her. If I was to see her in public, I wouldn't even like go near her. I won't even make a stink eye at her. I would just walk like away and like put my eye contact somewhere else, you know, like look the other way or something like that. It's like, so I don't think she has a case if she wants to put another restraining order. I'm not harming her. I'm just expressing information about a government official. Because I, as a human, have a human right to express. The woman serves a government official, which is exactly what she is. She works for the government, therefore she's a government official. I have a human right to express grievances towards government, and she works for the government. There is no threat. I'm not threatening anybody. I'm just expressing opinions and grievances. I'm expressing disagreement. Disagreement is not a threat. That's what I'm doing. So she doesn't have a case for another restraining order. This is ridiculous. So I'm putting this videos and information right back up, and yeah, so she doesn't have a case, and she just needs to apologize to the public for whatever comments I allegedly taken context, but had a recording device when she said those racial remarks. That would horrify the public, and she would have been fired. I mean, I don't know why she didn't get fired this time around. Maybe Miss Will, just does the principal of the school doesn't like firing people, or but anyways, they probably have their reason why they don't fire people. I know that teachers or librarians or any staff from the government has due process and yada yada yada. I mean, that's fine, but she could have at least have, and they actually did, like I said in the videos, that she did, this whole thing was reviewed by the DOE civil rights office, so they probably had their discussions with Ms. Lum, so it's not like she had a this issue wasn't talked about with the, yeah, so anyways, they did talk with her about that, but yeah, but those issues, I don't know, anyways, so I'm not threatening her, I'm just expressing disagreement, so anyway, that's about it, right?